That's gonna be a new. He's essentially not gonna be able to use it, right? That's quite a bit of investment. 2, 4, 6. I have lethal now, so he needs to kill me this turn. I don't think he's able to. Famous last words. Hi everyone, Yacca here. So we had a lot of new people coming in, viewing the videos, a lot of new subscribers, welcome on board, and that's really great. And I had a lot of reactions on the last video on the Ram Druid. So I had Dual Rotor Helicopter coming in saying that he doesn't really play Hearthstone anymore, but he enjoyed the video, so thank you for that. Then we have Henrik Larsen, where I had a good dialogue saying, well, this is not really favored too much against aggro. How could you manage to adapt the deck a little bit in order to make it a little bit more favored towards the aggro matchup? That was really great, having a little bit of a discussion on the comment section. And then Achilada Pro, which argued that, well, Ram Druid doesn't really have more than a 50-55% win rate. And I completely agree. If I would have played like 200 games, that would probably be my win rate with the deck, and not a 70+% win rate. However, it is my win rate with the number of games that I played, and I try to play as many games that I can when I argue that I have a certain win rate. And it would have been completely crazy by me saying that I played like 4 games and 3 were wins, so that's a 75% win rate. I don't want to do that. But again, with the number of games that I can put in, this is the win rate, and I always put that forward saying that this is number of games played, won and lost, and there's the math. So I hope that you can see through that, and then towards this time, it's not even my stats, it's the highest win rate deck that we're going to talk about towards Legend, and that's SHOCKSPITTER Hunter. So when you get to Legend, and towards the high ends of Legend, it drops down quite a bit, but towards the Legend ranks, this seems like a really viable deck. So let's have a look at the mulligan, the win conditions, and some of the play strategies. As always, I'll leave a deck code in the description, but you can be able to find this list on many other websites. It's not my creation at all. But talking about the deck and how you actually play it, let's start with the win condition. Usually, the win condition would be that over the course of the game, you use your weapons, Candle Shot, Bloodseeker, and the generated ones that you get out of your, for instance, Wild Spirits, the stack that generates a weapon. You use all those weapon charges as much as you can each and every turn you hit with it, and then that buffs up your Shockspitters, which has been nerfed, by the way. It was 2 mana in the beginning, so this deck has already been nerfed and is still really good. Then over the course, maybe on turn 6, one of the optimal things that you can do is, for instance, drop 2 Shockspitters for a good amount of damage, and then you chipped in some damage with your weapons and your minions up until that point in time. And maybe on turn 6 you'll already be able to get there, or else you have to look out to maybe extend the turn or something like that. But at least that is usually the way you win. You drop your Shockspitters. It could also be in conjunction with you have a Brand and a Shockspitter, which gives you 2 battle cries that targets the same place. So that's the usual win condition. Hit with your weapons, build up your Shockspitters, and shoot face with it. And then we get into the mulligan strategy. As you can see below me, I put in the mulligan guide, the general one, and there's a bit of explaining that needs to go in. Across all matchups, you want to keep Candle Shot, you want to keep your Spirit Poacher, and your Wild Spirits. Those are 3 really key cards in the mulligan. But you can see that Beaststalker Tavish is also down there. And also on the percentage that you have in the picture below is the amount of times that generally people keep the card. So as you can see, it really hurts people's win rates when they throw it back. However, it is only on 5 specific classes when you're up against that you want to be keeping Tavish. Other than that, you just mulligan him away, and then you make sure that you go for the other 3 cards, and then of course over the game you draw different ones. So the first, those 5 classes would be Death Knight, Mage, Demon Hunter, Paladin, and Priest. Those 5 classes would require you to keep Beast Dog or Tavish. The other classes just throw it back, because then you don't need it. It's nice to draw later on in the game, but having more choices in the early game is definitely better. And the game strategy, how you play, remember to hit with your weapons. For instance, if you're up against something that drops really big minions, I don't think Boon Priest is anything that you'll run into, but yeah, I've run into a couple of Miracle Rogues as well, which builds like massive minions, like 9, 10, 10s, and 9 9s. Then actually keeping a Candle Shot, which makes you immune while attacking, and having a Keen Eye Spotter, where you will actually be able to hit and destroy a minion with massive stats with one swing, and you won't even have any health loss over it. So that is a good combo to watch out for. Some matchups, for instance, against a Paladin, there's another good option that on some of the other board-based decks you can also do this, of course. But then dropping your Stormpike Battle Ram, and then on the next turn you will have your Hydrolodon for 5 mana. That is a combo that you can set up, and then if your opponent doesn't have any board clears, that's a massive amount of stats that is so difficult to clear already on turn 5. So that's another combo to watch out for. You have so many weapons that sometimes you will maybe I need to just don't play that Bloodseeker because I have a Wild Spirits on the next turn that will come in and give me a weapon. You are usually not tight for weapons. You just need to make sure that you swing each and every turn, because this buffs up your Shocksplitter, and then just swing as much as you can, because you are the aggressive deck. This is an aggressive deck and you need to close out as soon as you can. Sometimes I've had games run up towards like 9 or 10, and that's also why you have Astalor in the deck, because that could actually be a fine finisher with 16 damage just pouring in, because hopefully you've been able to deal some damage over the course of the game. I think that is it. Some of the replacement cards that you can consider is maybe Barracuda Bane. I just think it's really good with the amount of draw that he has. It allows you to find stuff. You only have one cost spell, which is tracking, which allows you to find more weapons and such. But that could actually be a replacement card if you don't have all the legendaries. If you need something else, I don't know what it could actually be, but if you are opting in to find something to replace, then that could actually be one of the cards. Another combo, another play strategy that I use once in a while is that if I have like more or less a clean board, and then you can actually drop your, maybe on turn 6 you can drop your Shockspitter and Bran, the other way around of course, Bran first and then Shockspitter. And then if there's a minion, pardon me, on the other side, then use Devouring Swarm in order for you to get Bran and Shockspitter back to your hand while clearing a minion. That is a really good game strategy, because then on the next turn you might have another weapon swing, and then you can do another maybe 10, 12, 14 points of damage with that combo. And over a couple of turns, that's not really that many decks that can actually handle this. One challenging thing is there's a lot of Demon Hunters, Spell Demon Hunters at the moment, which doesn't allow this combo. So one final point there, and you'll also get to see that in the gameplay section. Avoid certain breakpoints of health that you need to put out there. Sometimes it actually hurts you to put out minions instead of trying to really go for the weapons and use that. Of course, you need some minions out there, but be careful around, especially the 4 health threshold for the minions that you have. This could be, for instance, Barracuda Bane, and that is quite a horrible threshold of life for him. So sometimes you would actually use your conjured arrow to kill off your own minions or damage them, so you get to a break point of health. At least if you look at it from a Demon Hunter perspective. So you actually need to play the opponent's deck a little bit. So it's really interesting. We'll leave it at that. There's a bunch of more stuff for you to find out, but that's the mulligan strategy, some matchups, how you win, how to play. Let's have a look at the gameplay.
Rexa versus Illitin. This ends now. I'm acting on instinct.
Okay. If I were first, Chalk would be immensely good against Demon Hunters, but as I'm going second, so many things that deals with it. So I think I'm just keeping the candle shot. Gonna build up the SHOCKSPITTERs. That's perfect. That's 6.7, and then I get a copy there. And I don't want to develop any. This is gonna be a one-off that I'm gonna drop out there. I don't want to develop too many minions. Let's start pounding face. Because when we get to turn 6, he can do the Mana Thirst, Fell stuff. Oh, a bounce soul already. I wonder which one he chose.
My quarry nears.
Definitely going for the SHOCKSPITTER. Oh, I need to push out so much damage.
I see.
And if he's got a good curve like he does right now. Oh man. Okay.
Circle round.
Let's go.
My
Go.
quarry nears.
I still think the way I see it, Wild Spirit is still good in this matchup, but actually the taunt one can actually be your downfall if you get a lot of damage early on. Completed 2 quest steps already. Oh man. This one is not getting that much past turn 6. I'm not sure, guys. Let's take this random effect first. Actually don't mind getting this one on the board because it's only 3 health and I get another SHOCKSPITTER out of it. But then I should drop this first and then the tracking after, because then I can get another SHOCKSPITTER out of that one. And then I can start 2 turn straights. And then I guess we go for the weapon.
My quarry nears. Circle round.
Pardon me. I need to get rid of this somehow, or that he gets rid of it for me. But at least they protect me against Fell Barrages. That's always something. One of the best cards to get is actually Beastalker Tavish, the hero card. Because it really disrupts a lot. So you can get the ice trap and then the objection. No, not the objection, the motion denied. Yeah, it's gonna be dealing a bit of damage here, right? Ouch. Ooh. So maybe we just coined that one actually. even go for a freezing, but improved ice trap is definitely the one here. But I don't want to give him any more healing. And motion denied is definitely the other one.
Circle round.
6, so there's gotta be 14 points of damage. So he could do it now. That's gonna be a new. He's essentially not gonna be able to use it, right? That's quite a bit of investment. 2, 4, 6. I have lethal now, so he needs to kill me this turn. I don't think he's able to. Famous last words out of a demon hunter that's had like 2 rounds of discounts, but it doesn't seem like it. Make sure to go to 14, 2 times 7, and we actually managed to do this, guys. This is one of the tougher matchups, but Beast or Tavish, telling you.